This is Choisya ternata Sundance, and it is the common name is Sundance Mexican orange blossom. It is an evergreen shrub, hardy down to about 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Gets about 5 to 6 feet tall and wide, and has a nice white flower, which you're going to see in a minute. But what you're looking at already is the chartreuse foliage, which makes this so distinctive. And here is the regular Mexican orange, Choisya ternata, and here's the white blossom. And again, here's Sundance. So obviously the difference here being that the chartreuse foliage on most of the plant is very striking, and this is a live shot that I took while I was in England. This plant was used quite a bit. I was in the Essex part of England outside of London, and they get pretty cold during the winter at times. Generally they're down around freezing during the winter, but they get some colder spells where I believe that it's in the 20s Fahrenheit. But as I said, this is rated to be hardy down to around 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Here you're looking at regular Choisya ternata. See how deep green the foliage is, and then followed by the sunburst, or Sundance, sorry. So this is a very popular plant, as I mentioned, over in England. It's not as popular yet here in the United States. I'm in Northern California, and we certainly have this plant, and I see it around. But in California, at least, one of the things that we found is it performs better near the coast. I don't know if it's the hotter inland temperatures that we get here where I'm at. We get around 100 degrees, 90 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit during the summer. And during the winter, we're similar to where you're seeing here. We will get down in the high teens Fahrenheit during the winter. So I don't think it's the cold so much, but one of the problems we run into with Choisya ternata in our area is that it gets some kind of blight or wilt, where parts or all of the plant will just shut down. It seems to be something that affects the root and then kind of moves its way through the branches. So because of that, I'm not a big user of Choisya, but obviously my situation isn't the only situation, and I saw this so often over where we were. I wanted to show this and bring it to people's attention. Beautiful plant. The chartreuse yellow foliage is very distinctive, and it's kind of used as a specimen shrub in some parts, and then here it's used as a little grouping of 2 or 3 plants along this brick wall. So the other thing that's really good about this, if you happen to be in an area with deer, Choisya is very oily. It's a nice smelling oil actually, but the deer do leave this alone reliably. My dad has this plant in the Monterey area in California, and they reliably leave this alone. It's also very nice to cut the foliage and take it in the house. Smells good and it's attractive, and then the blossoms that happen in late spring, early summer are very fragrant. So that's one of the nice appeals of the plant in general. These pictures, or this video, by the way, was taken during early November in 2012. So it was cold. It was already in the 40s Fahrenheit during the day. One day it was in the 30s, and that's what you're seeing here. So when I use plants like this in design, one of the things I would say to you is to be careful about using too much of it. It's very bright and distinctive, but when it is like that, you don't need to put in so much that it's just screaming at you. And most of the people that I saw using this used 1 or 2 of them at a time, and I think that's a nice way to use it. You can use it as a specimen shrub, or you can use it as an accent, also as a small hedge, and it prunes well. By the way, it likes regular water. Doesn't like to be wet though, too wet or soggy. Well-drained soil, I think, is good for Choisya ternata, and also likes full sun. Usually when you have a plant like this, it wants to have full sun to bring out its full coloration that you're seeing here. As I say that, I realize that inland you have to be careful. I'm not sure how this is going to handle full sun. We typically would use Choisya ternata in part shade inland where it's really hot during the summer. But coastally, certainly full sun, and this is in England where they don't get really hot summers, so it can handle full sun for sure. And that is Choisya ternata Sundance. Sundance Mexican orange. Beautiful plant. Check that one out.